Embers of Liberty.
Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America.
In the
These acts
councils
shatter
of government,
steel,
we must guard
but they
against
cannot dent
the
the steel.
acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Inherently and historically oppose the secret society.
We, as Americans, have the capacity now, as we've had in the
decided
past,
long ago
to do whatever
dangers
needs
of
to be done
excessive and unwarranted
to
concealment
preserve this last and
facts
greatest bastion of freedom.
far outweigh the dangers
In this
which
present
are cited to
crisis,
justify it.
government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Welcome back to Embers of Liberty. You can't see us, and I don't like that.
Oh, there it goes.
Nope,
right
I
from
still
the-
can't see it. I don't like how it does that. This is going to really get on my nerves.
There we go.
But anyway, normally we'd have a witty, jokey entrance or whatever, but today's not one of those days, because today we saw something that we haven't seen in a very long time in this country, and that was the attempted assassination of Donald Trump at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Huge problem. Normally we would go straight into how our weeks are. We're going to skip it all this tonight because this is literally something that just happened. So I want to get right into it. We're going to go straight to the footage of the shots fired at the Donald Trump rally. And it looks like this.
Government services comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
So
Rewind that back some more and see it again.
So pay attention, because he turns his head and looks in that direction, right?
Take a look at what happened.
Bullets are pretty fucking fast. Lucky for us, whoever it was, terrible shot.
Yeah, if he would not have turned his head, we may be preparing for a civil war right now.
We'd be having a completely different discussion if he had not turned his head, because that would have blew the back of his head out.
Yeah.
So, this is disgusting. This is the thing that happens when one side of the aisle perpetuates hateful rhetoric towards an individual like this. The Trump's a fascist, he's a racist, he's a white supremacist, he's this, that, and the other. He's all of these things. He's the boogeyman, essentially. Some mentally unstable person who's watching things like CNN, like MSNBC, all of these outlets that are perpetuating this bullshit about Donald Trump being a racist and a pedophile or any of the stuff that they're accusing him of being, of having sex with a porn star and paying her off, of committing fraud the likes no one's ever seen, and stealing classified documents and all this, that, and the other, and then pretending that their side of the aisle is completely, blameless on anything at all. This is what happens. It radicalizes people.
Right.
And it makes people do things like try to shoot their political opposition. This is the America that they've created. It's not the America that Donald Trump created. It's the America that the media and the fake news outlets and everybody else created just to lead up to this point. And Tucker Carlson called it about 6 weeks ago. They were heading straight to an assassination attempt of Donald Trump. But, like the badass he is, Donald Trump could not be killed.
Moving his fair. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. We ready?
Okay, we are watching live at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where former President Trump was speaking on the stage. There has been some kind of disturbance that clearly sets law enforcement and Secret Service into motion, immediately jumping around the former president in a protective mode. The crowd has been screaming. They are standing by. You can hear some voices there saying, "Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go?" We are looking at President Trump. This does not look good. I'm going to be honest with you, from what we can see right here, it looks like they are attempting to move him out, that he may have been injured.
Donald Trump, in classic Donald Trump fashion, standing up, refusing to move until he can look his audience in the face and say, "Fight, fight, fight." I will say this, okay? I'll say this. This solidifies the election. Unless they are able to actually kill him, he just won the election right there.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying too to a few people. Like, I would be surprised if this is the only attempt.
Yeah, it's most likely not going to be the only attempt, but is anybody else really going to make it that far? Now, Cody pointed something out. Sorry, I got mixed up with the names in the chat. Cody pointed something out about the girl behind him when the shots are fired. So let me see.
Said the blonde girl?
Well, there's two blondes behind him, so I don't know which one he's talking about. But let's go look at that. Let's see if we can. We'll just slow it down to a quarter speed. President. We don't need the audio here because that's annoying. Are you talking about this blonde girl, Cody?
Very interesting.
Because I really don't know.
Hold on.
I think I backed it up a little too far. But I think this is it right here coming up. I can't really tell. The head turn is the cue, but
There's a few blonde girls.
Hold on. Whoa. I think I saw it. I think it's this one. Right there? No. Oh no. Oh, no. Yeah. She was just ducking for cover, I think. Maybe not.
Everybody got down.
I don't know, because look, even they were looking down at her. So.
Oh shit! Yeah, she just dropped straight down.
Yeah, before anybody could really react. Like, there's no way that she reacted There are reports that there are 2 people dead after this. So
yeah, she just like falls straight down, no reaction or nothing. That is weird, isn't it? Like, look at her face. There's absolutely no reaction, and she goes straight down.
Yeah. So this is the raw video without the commentary. Got to turn the playback speed back to normal.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Yeah, she dropped straight down.
That's a weird.
Watch her face. No reaction.
Just down. There's. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Kate says she has to be dead. She just walked in here. I heard you yelling, but I couldn't tell what you were saying. So.
That's just she went. Whoop.
Yeah. So let's see if we can find something about the.
I have a live news stream going over here. I've got our stream going, a news stream going.
Yeah. The alleged shooter is dead, as well as at least one bystander. So is the bystander the girl, or is it somebody else? 1 dead, 2 critically injured. So the shooter is dead. The Secret Service neutralized the shooter. The shooter fired as many as 8 rounds from an AR-style rifle. Perched on a rooftop adjacent to the venue. The shooter was 200 to 300 yards away at the time of the gunfire. Bullet hit him in the ear, is what Trump says. Pierced the upper right part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something, you know what, let's just put that up there. So this is on ABC News. Trump says bullet hit him in the ear. Former President Donald Trump said in a Truth Social post that he was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear during the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening, he said.
But still, what is so surreal to me is it was less than probably an inch.
Yeah.
And he would have been dead. He would have been dead.
Yeah. This is disgusting. One rally spectator was killed and another was injured during the incident. So I'm assuming that girl behind Donald Trump. I mean, we can go and look at this and see if she gets back up, but I don't think she does. I think she's dead. Look at this lady looking at her.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just see. I think that girl's the one that got hit.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Move. Go. Hawkeye's here.
Weird part to me is no one else has noticed.
You ready?
Well, they may have noticed and they just can't do anything right now because of the Secret Service.
Are we good? Shooter's down. Are we good to move? Let's move. Let's move. We're clear.
Now listen for Trump right here, though. Because he tells them to wait.
Let me get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus.
Watch out.
Legend.
Yeah, I don't see
And
that girl.
is down. That girl is down right in there. Like right in here.
Yeah.
She's not gotten up. She's not moved. And the other people around her were starting to look down. Look, see, I know you can't see I'm pointing at it, but you can't see where I'm pointing. Like, right in here, see this?
Yeah.
They're 100% dealing with that girl that is down right there. Of course, this asshole's just taking pictures. And this is not something that I wanted to see, but it's something that I thought would. I really and truthfully have thought for a while now that this is some shit that they would pull. You know, somebody far left would try to kill Donald Trump. And there are no words. I mean, this literally just happened not even 2 hours before we got on tonight. So,
right.
You know, I just, obviously, you know, I'm not a Trump fan, but after tonight, I know who I'm voting for. The guy that they tried to kill. Because if they tried to kill him, and it wasn't just some random lefty, what if it was part of the deep state? What if it was the CIA radicalizing this guy? What if it was somebody in the FBI radicalizing somebody? It's not good.
So,
definitely not good.
I'm seeing the footage here where they're picking up somebody and hauling them off. The way they're carrying them, they look to be just really injured.
Well, initial reports were that there were two that were injured. But then one died.
Right.
You know, one is seriously injured, one is killed. That was 39 minutes ago. One dead, two critically injured. You know, one spectator was killed and two were critically injured during the incident. You know, this is serious shit. Like, I know that in the past we've really tried to have fun and be informative at the same time, but this one is different. Like, this is a problem.
This is we were literally, and what I tell people, I've been saying is, we were literally an inch away from civil war today.
Absolutely,
that bullet was an inch away from the next civil war.
There's no doubt in my mind that we were inches away from a tragedy, or from a tragedy that would have led to further bloodshed.
Right.
Whether it sparked a civil war or not, is beside the point. But at the end of the day, when you look at the things that are happening right now, this is 100% the fault of the media, who have mischaracterized Donald Trump for 6 years now. 8 years, 9 years, you know, however long it's been since 2016, the election in 2016. So all the way up from the end of 2015 all the way through now, they've demonized Donald Trump. Right. It has been an almost constant attack on Donald Trump. Not on the merits either, on bullshit that they've made up and spread about him.
Right.
And it culminates in things like this. This is a problem that needs to be addressed. You know, at this point, there is no excuse for any of this to continue. Okay? Now, we're going to talk about the other stuff, and we'll update more as it comes out on this, but I do want to get into the rest of the show, the meat of the show, even though I want to talk about this all night long.
We got which really, I mean, the world is generally crazy in general. Like we've got a whole list full of crazy stuff.
So, Joe, you're the one that did the majority of the show prep here, but I do want to cover something that happened a couple of weeks ago first, because I kind of want to hit it in somewhat order, right? So I want to cover the Boeing whistleblowers.
You removed the "while we were gone" part?
Yes, I did.
Or while we were gone, yeah.
So anyway, so the Boeing CEO basically admitted to targeting whistleblowers, and that's what this clip is. Check this out.
Well, hold on, right before you start this, they said that the other audience member has died.
Yeah.
That's what. Has Jack Delaney been on here before? I believe he has.
Yes, he has. He's okay, one of the newer viewers.
I thought so. I just wanted to
Welcome back, Jack. Sorry it's been a while since we've been on, but, glad to see you again.
Let's go to this.
Okay,
Boeing.
So this is Senator Blumenthal questioning the Boeing CEO, but listen closely to what the Boeing CEO says.
Your employees have been fired for retaliating. How many?
Hold on.
With that, our team
Let me
are
ask you,
working
Mr.
hard.
Mr. Calhoun, let me ask you, how many of your employees have been fired for retaliating against whistleblowers?
Senator, I don't have that number on the tip of my tongue, but I know it.
Have
I know
any-
it happens.
have
I
any
know
been
it happens.
firing?
I am happy to follow up and get you that number.
I would appreciate
Yes.
your following up. Let me ask you, have any of your supervisors, your managers, anybody been fired for retaliating against people who speak truth to power about defects or problems in production?
Senator, we have fired people and disciplined people, and I am happy to follow up with what
Who
you
have
need.
you fired and how have they been disciplined?
I'm not.
I'll tell you how one of them was disciplined with 2 gunshot wounds to the back of the head.
Yeah.
But that was a suicide. So, Boeing's in pretty deep shit at this point. But I thought it was interesting that their CEO was dumb enough to come in front of Congress and basically say, yeah, we fire people and discipline people for whistleblowing. Because that's extremely illegal. So, anyway, I just thought that was something that should be addressed at minimum. So anyway, damn it, man. That news happening today, I don't like that.
Guys.
Hey, Cody's here.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, guys.
So,
What up, man?
hola, Cody.
Hola, senor.
Meanwhile, at my house.
Yeah.
That's a long explosion. I never realized how long that was. Anyway, so Joe, you did the majority.
This is Trump right now.
I'm not fucking leaving.
That is accurate. That is an accurate description of Trump at the moment. So do we want to stay on the presidential race for a little bit longer and go into Biden?
And I'm cool with whatever you want to do.
So here's the thing, okay? At this point, I'm going to tell you right now, I feel awful for making fun of Joe Biden. Not because I think it's unfair for a public figure to be made fun of, but because at this point it's apparent that this isn't Joe Biden. Like, this is the shell of Joe Biden. Like, this is not him. None of this would be happening
he's...
if it weren't for the fact that his wife and son are clinging to power as if their lives depend on it. Because Jill and Hunter are the only reasons he is still in this presidential race. And it's painfully apparent to anybody who's been paying attention. So with that, I'm going to say this. This is the final Chats with Pop Pop.
Acknowledge that the best way to avoid these kinds of battles in the future is to stay strong with our allies. Do not break. Do not break.
Do you feel that Americans are slipping? Do you think that Americans are not holding that view anymore? That
no, I don't. Slippage? I think the Americans hold the view. I think there's a rise and a sense of some within the country wanting to let that slip. The idea that we become semi-isolationists now, which some are talking about, I mean, the idea we had to wait all those months just to get the money for Iraq because we were waiting.
Iraq? Now, this is pre-debate, so I don't feel as bad for making fun of him here, but pretty sure you're not having any problem getting funding for Iraq. I think it's Ukraine that you're talking about there.
I mean, it's not who we are. It's not who America is.
Sir, did anything surprise you on this trip?
One policy question for you, sir. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Anything surprise you on this trip that you heard?
Even though I'd been here before, it surprised me how much it awakened my sense of why it's so valuable to have these alliances, why it's so critical. That's the way you stop wars, not start wars.
So there's a list of them. So I'm not going to shortchange you on the final Chats with Pop Pop. Okay, there is a lot.
You gotta do it like you could, though. You gotta do it like you could, do you like that? Rock with me.
Give me a dial up, somebody.
I don't have the dial up.
You got to get it.
I'm gonna shit my pants.
That's accurate as well.
Oh no, here you go.
Look at the tranny dancing. Yeah, exactly. 404 not found. Dance.exe file not found. That's a dude.
Everybody, do this with me, do this with me.
I mean, just there. It's literally like 4 minutes of this shit. Like,
I mean, not to pull race into this, but you know, it's like all the white people are just kind of standing there.
Yep.
Except for that
look
one.
At that face. Look at the look on his face. That's the look of, I have no fucking idea why I'm here.
Brian's like, who's this band? What's this song?
I didn't leave my Pop-Tarts here. What's going on?
I'm kind of retarded.
Clap for that, you stupid bastards. Oh, God. Again, this is the final Chats with Pop Pop, so we're going to make it pretty good.
On this vote,
bad.
I look very much forward to the
So then there's this.
summit in Washington, D.C. next month. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, will the lack of a war
That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's kind of a dick move.
It is.
Like, I mean, you can tell that he's not processing any of what's happening.
And then you got Kennedy back there just like, what the hell?
The guest is so obviously uncomfortable. So,
wow, and everybody just gets up and leaves.
Yeah, I mean, because they're being ushered out. Like, they're being forced to leave. So, anyway, and then even more.
It wanders off.
What's the dog doing?
What the hell?
Joe. You're going to have to do those sounds. Doing? Yeah, thank you. I don't know. You notice they... He just looks so uncomfortable. And, like, we all know that he's been in these positions a million times before, right? Like, that's right. Not the issue. Like, muscle memory is a thing. You can continue to act the way that you've always acted, but still, like, it's obvious that you don't really understand what's happening anymore.
Let's take a listen to this. I'd like to get everybody's reaction on the panel. Let's roll it.
My name's Joe Biden. I'm Jill Biden's husband. Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. I'm not sure I'm going to do show away.
What?
All the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. I'm not sure I'm going to do show away.
What the hell is that shit?
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. I'm not sure I'm going to do show
excuse me, what the actual fuck?
Anyway, like I said, it's the last one. I'm not going to disappoint.
Obama, the president is frozen. Control-Alt-Delete. Control-Alt-Delete.
Emotional damage.
Yeah. I just, I've been mulling it over in my mind the past week or so, right? About whether or not to stop doing chats with Pop Pop for this very reason. Because again, at this point, it's not the fact that he's terrible at his job. It's the fact that he's not doing the job because he's not capable. His mental capacity is not there.
No.
At all. But, I'm pretty sure his popularity skyrocketed after this clip.
Mr. President, your political future has hung over the NATO summit a little bit this week. Speaker Pelosi made a point of suggesting that your decision on whether to stay in the race was still open. George Clooney and a handful of lawmakers have called on you to step aside. Reuters is reporting tonight that UAW leadership is concerned about your ability to win.
UAW just endorsed me, but go ahead.
Thank you. My question for you is, how are you incorporating these developments into your decision to stay? And separately, what concerns do you have about Vice President Harris's ability to beat Donald Trump if she were at the top of the ticket?
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck?
To beat Donald Trump if she were at the top of the ticket?
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. Number one. The fact is that the consideration.
Dumbass! Not good. Excuse me, it's probably disgusting that he thinks that I'm his vice president because I'm bigly not. I'm much better than him, and if anybody were going to be vice president, it would be Vice President Joe Biden. Okay, frankly, there's no way.
Joe Biden?
Yeah, Joe Biden, because, bribery and whatnot. Anywho, I do have one last thing that I have to actually pull up. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we're going to watch some of it. Because this is 24 minutes long. But for the final Chats with Pop Pop, here are Joe Biden's greatest gaffes.
For your service, bottom of my heart. Really. Happy Thanksgiving. See you all. Oh, who am I giving this to?
We are a community that relies on family, on Ohana.
Middle class was built by the middle class, and the unions built the middle class.
What?
Exactly.
And two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. You could say even this harder than getting a ticket to the Renaissance tour or Britney's tour. She's down in, it's kind of warm in Brazil right now. And by the way, with other movies and movies she's earned a Golden Globe and a Primetime Emmy. That's me. We are back together here in Cambodia. I look forward to building even stronger progress than we've already made. And I want to thank the Prime Minister for Colombia's leadership in the ASEAN chair.
And to say to President Biden, can you hear me, President Biden? This is a historical moment for Brazil and for the U.S. President Biden, can you hear me? You can? Yes, good.
And then his earpiece falls out.
Well, we're going to win and we're going to help. We have plans to build a railroad from the Pacific all the way across the Indian Ocean. Talked about making sure that the third world, the Southern Hemisphere had access to change it, had access. It wasn't confrontational at all.
Thank you, everybody. This ends the press conference. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what he's about to come up and say? He's about to say,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alvin. Happy birthday to you. Instead of cutting them, or like Congressman Trump and Bob were going to do. President Harris is there to make sure we do this the right way. Maybe tech companies like Anthropic, and I'm going to mispronounce. I'm not going to try.
I'm gonna try.
What you did.
More than half the women in my cabinet, more than half the people in my cabinet, more than half of the women in my administration are women. 68 times, 68 hours, 68 times, more than 68 hours.
Contest is a strong phrase. Or
God save the Queen, man.
Up.
Oh. Oh, they got his chocolate chip ice cream.
Rashid Sunak is now the Prime Minister.
Here it comes. And that concludes the final Chess with Pop Pop. Not bad not bad for a last go, huh?
You know how I feel about it?
How? Yeah. So at the end of the day, right? The debate was just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
Watching him flounder in real time the way that we did really kind of put into perspective that the man is not somebody that we should be making fun of. He's somebody that we should truly feel sorry for.
At this point, it's almost like making fun of a special needs kid, really, for real.
Exactly. At this point, you know, Jill Biden and Hunter Biden are abusing Joe Biden.
Yep.
And it's obvious that the woman who had the Marine Corps band literally write a song for the First Lady for when she appears at events thinks that she's the one that's in charge, not her husband. At this point, I think that the only real solution to get Biden off the playing field is to invoke the 25th Amendment. It is apparent that he is not cognitively capable of doing the job. And It's sad. I don't want to see that. You know, at the end of the day, no matter how much shit I talk about one side or the other when it comes to the presidency, I want them to succeed because I want America to succeed.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, yes, he's still my president, but it's terrifying to know that that's the person that's in charge. Because we all know that he's really not the person that's in charge. Somebody else is pulling the strings. And those strings are becoming visible. And the more it shakes out, the more it looks like Jill Biden is the one pulling the strings. So, Jack says Trump has been released from the hospital and is still going to the event in Denver tonight. My man. So let's check in on that real quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm not seeing anything on that yet. Trying to look. Let's see. I'm not seeing nothing on it yet. But I am just looking at the minute by minute things.
Yeah. So 20 minutes ago, Mayorkas, Homeland Security is taking every possible measure to ensure safe security for campaign after Trump rally shooting. Let's see.
Oh, I don't know if you heard, but Elon Musk has come out and endorsed Trump after this.
Oh, yes. He sure has. Let's see. Chet Jack, a member of the state Republican Party and former Butler County Republican chairman, and his wife Beth were sitting in the bleachers facing Trump when they heard the shots. Beth ducked after hearing the shots, feeling relieved for a moment when she thought it had ended. Then she heard a second round of shots, which she guessed might have been aimed at the shooter. I couldn't see what happened with President Trump because the minute I heard the shot, I yelled, "Everybody get down," Beth said. I knew that was a shot. The couple said they were within feet, less than 10 yards of a man who was shot in the bleachers. Right after he got shot, everybody started screaming medic. Beth said it was just hard because so many people were down and you're scared to death, but at the same point, you want to know that he's okay, but they did get somebody there right away. There was a lot of blood, Chet said. Damn it, got tongue-tied.
So, Barstool Sports is reporting that Donald Trump, that it's a rumor Donald Trump will reportedly be at the UFC Denver tonight.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, like okay, Andrew McCarthy says breaking President Trump will be at tonight's UFC fight. And Barstool Sports saying, holy shit, I have no idea how legitimate this report is, but imagine if it were true. Donald Trump will be walking out to a sold-out arena in Denver just after surviving an assassination attempt and raising his fist in the air like Rocky.
And meanwhile, the entire Biden campaign is currently going,
He keeps kicking me in the dick. Why? Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?
So
unbiased Ev, or whatever his name is, says Trump walking out to many men with Dana White at the next UFC fight he attends is going to be the scenes of all scenes.
What? Hold on, I gotta show you something. Okay, so this is what I deal with. This is my spoiled brat dog.
The hell? She fart?
No. She's just laying there. Ugh. That dog is such a brat. Apparently, she is not getting enough attention.
Mad at you?
Something. Uh-oh. What is happening here? I don't like... Ever since I adjusted my monitors, everything's all screwy. I don't like it. Cody, are you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. You're just awfully quiet.
I was eating, so I didn't want to be like chewing into the mic.
Oh yeah,
I
really appreciate that. So, anyway, Cody, what are your thoughts on this Donald Trump assassination attempt?
Man. Well, I agree with pretty much everybody else that won him the election. Hands down.
Yeah.
There's no way it doesn't go. My question point here is, has the left, the Democratic Party, have they put out a release or anything, concern this, that, or the other, in regards.
So Joe Biden has made a statement. I know. I don't know exactly what that statement was. I hate how it does that. What in the fucking shit? You know what? No.
Wrong button.
What in the fuck is...
I put a Twitter link all the way down at the bottom of the show notes. Like, it's all the way at the bottom. Very, 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 very bottom. Like, even underneath our little notes.
Are we still streaming?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Well, my chat just disappeared, so...
No, mine's still there.
Well, my chat in OBS has disappeared.
Oh. Yeah, we're still going.
Everybody's seeing me adjust stuff live.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
So
so people are saying this is what we need, and it's that video I just sent to the bottom of the show notes. And it's Trump and Dana White walking out.
Well, give me a second and I will pull it up.
I do have to say though, if he does show up for another rally tonight, dude, that will be...
It's not a rally, it's a UFC event.
Oh, well, still, just showing his face in public again tonight, that'd be pretty badass.
Yes, it would. It would be absolutely awesome and insane at the same time. So Teflon Don. Indeed. Teflon Don indeed. You know, obviously I hate all of the stuff that's happening. But it's
Donald Trump was probably just like, man, y'all just slap some that stuff that they slap on the water, the hole with the water coming out. What is that stuff called? Flex Seal? Yeah, just slap some Flex Seal on it. We'll be good to go.
Well, do you guys want to take a quick scroll on X?
I mean, sure.
Let's take a scroll on X. Okay, so Harry Sissy. Political violence is never okay under any circumstances. The shooting at Trump's rally is absolutely unacceptable. Let's beat Trump in the ballot box, not any other way. Insane stuff.
Look what Sarah Rose says, though.
But unfortunately, according to the Supreme Court, Biden could now send in SEAL Team 6 to take all of them out. He could send in the military to take out Trump. He has immunity for official acts now.
People are pretty much all shitting on this guy.
Yes, everybody always does. The timer don't lie. You suck.
With his doctors, he's doing well. I plan on talking to what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. He's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have engaged in making sure that the people we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is, the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. I mean, everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I am able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that there's thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do, okay?
Good on him for actually, condemning it, but at the same time, how much Adderall did they have to inject him with first?
Yep.
First off, people like this are the problem, right? I gotta say, it's pretty rich to see right-wingers doing the bleeding heart routine when their response to Nancy Pelosi's home getting broken into and her husband being beaten bloody was LOL get wrecked. Okay, so first off, yes, after we knew that he was okay, it was hilarious because of all the theories that were coming out about it. It's not hilarious that it was politically motivated, any of that. But, Paul and Nancy like to get hammered, so the fact that he got hammer-timed was pretty priceless. So, are you old enough to remember when Paul Pelosi survived an assassination attempt and the maggots joked about it?
Paul Pelosi wasn't a president of the United States.
Paul Pelosi isn't a presidential candidate. He's the husband of a Congress member. It's not the same thing. Fuck you.
Is it?
You want to try that again?
Eat it.
Thank you, Joe.
Here we go.
Oh.
Alrighty.
That's supposedly the vintage shooter. Don't know.
We can say get wrecked. We can say get wrecked to him though.
Yeah, get wrecked, nerd.
Hopefully that is the shooter, not one of the.
Yeah, hopefully
bystanders.
See, this is the other problem. There are so many people saying that was a staged attack. Okay, no, it was not. Supposedly, fucking Barack Obama. There is absolutely no place for political violence in our democracy. Although we don't yet know exactly what happened, we should all be relieved that former President Trump wasn't seriously hurt, and use this moment to recommit ourselves to civility and respect in our politics. I do a terrible Barack Obama, but there are no Black Americans. There are no white Americans. There's only Americans. Anywho, George Takei, whose only claim to fame is that he was Asian and gay, politicians on the left are calling for unity and no violence. Politicians on the right are stoking things further. Voters in the center join with those wishing to turn the temperature down, not crank it up for all our sakes. First off, we're not the ones who tried to fucking assassinate our political opponents.
Or jail them.
You guys are. So yeah, we have every right to be trying to say that it should be ratcheted up. It's... J.D. Vance actually makes a really good point, and it's the point that I was making earlier. Today is not just some isolated incident. The central premise of the Biden campaign is that President Donald Trump is an authoritarian fascist who must be stopped at all costs. The rhetoric led directly to President Trump's attempted assassination, which is what I said from the very beginning of this show. It's gross. Like, all of this is gross. Right? So
I will say, on a comical note, to bring a little bit of lightness to this, the fact that it took less than 25 minutes for somebody to make a shirt out of that clip it makes me happy.
Yes, agreed. Agreed. There is no place for political violence, including the horrific incident we just witnessed in Pennsylvania. It is absolutely unacceptable and must be denounced in the strongest terms. My heart goes out to all the victims, and I wish the former president a speedy recovery. Miss Horseteeth herself. AOC. It's so whether this is or isn't the attempted assassin, I don't know. I hope it is. But they just keep like they're so this is supposedly him, but this is supposedly him too. So which is it? Like until all the facts come out, you can't really say. But it was it's crazy. But did they though? Is that who the
Turn the volume on.
See something that said, take a look at what happened. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened. And you know,
you hear Donald Trump say, oh shit?
That's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Yeah, he did say, oh shit.
You know, that's a little bit old, that chart.
Oh shit.
Either he did or the person with the camera did.
Oh.
So he may have took one.
He did take one, it looks like.
Oh, you know, see, so when he goes down, I don't think he went down to take cover. It did look like maybe he'd gotten hit in the stomach.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really
this is an interesting video, though. It looks like they see something, and it looks like they see something.
And you know,
yeah, that does look an awful lot like he got hit.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look what happened.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you see it hit his jacket.
Past that, about the time it hits his jacket, the sniper goes on scope. Watch him.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's looking like in that general vicinity.
Like he can see something moving.
Watch him.
A little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he looks up and like, oh shit, and then scopes right back down on.
Yeah. It's almost like he did see something right before the
Like,
shot was fired.
a glint or something.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's all crazy. I doubt that was the man who shot the guy.
I'm
gonna put money on the sniper on the roof.
Yeah.
That guy just happened to be standing there with a rifle.
So Malik says he's been trolling on X for the past couple of hours. So another Jack does say that another channel said that Trump was also hit in his bulletproof vest.
So there's the guy.
I think they hit him because the guy is. Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. You can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy is. He looks dead. Lá em cima, né?
I was watching live. This guy never fired his weapon. Yeah, because it wasn't him. Oh man, this is this has been one of those events that you really hope never happens. But if this guy is the guy that killed him,
buy that man a beer.
Buy that man all the beers.
Get him drunk as shit tonight.
Anyway, there's not much going on X, obviously, other than the Donald Trump shooting, so that's been Take a Scroll on X. You turn that down, I can hear myself all the way in here. Wherever you're listening to it. I can hear that. Kate just said, you know what? Fuck you. Later. Oh man. Anyway, I don't know. This whole thing has just kind of thrown off my show vibe.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I don't really have much.
In a big way, because, normally we would be talking about random shit, but this has given us...
Rally is absolutely...
And I had a bunch of random shit to talk about tonight.
Feel free to lead me into what you want to talk about. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm in no mood to really discuss a whole bunch of anything after this. Like, I'm literally just ready to fucking go.
You ready to put that Hawaiian shirt on?
Yep.
Get the pig!
I'm getting the pig! So, you know what? We do need something funny. We need something funny. Let's watch Eric Swallowswell get absolutely obliterated by Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Mr. Swalwell. Thank you. Mr. Shapiro, thank you for joining us today. I think it is important that you're here.
Liar.
As one of the leading conservative voices in the country. And the country has, in the last couple weeks, talked a lot about and Googled Project 2025. It's one of the most Googled search terms right now. And you're not going to get any censorship from me. So I just wanted to know, from your perspective, I think it would help us understand, on just like a scale of 0 to 100%, how much do you support Project 2025?
I think, like President Trump, I haven't looked all that deeply at Project 2025, but it seems that Democrats on this committee, sort of like Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, if they say Project 2025 enough, their presidential candidate becomes alive again.
Ooh.
Oof. And so, well, let's just talk about pieces of it, and I guess you can tell me if you support it. You probably want less bureaucracy, right?
I do.
I want less bureaucracy. You want more efficiency?
I do.
I want more efficiency.
Oh, he said the quiet part out loud.
What?
I want less bureaucracy. You want more efficiency?
I do.
I want more efficiency.
Whoops.
Oopsie.
Oopsie.
You want taxpayer money spent wisely?
I do. Congrats on becoming a Republican.
Yeah. My parents would be proud. Mass deportations, it calls for that. Do you support that part?
I support the deportation of any illegal immigrant who's in the United States who is not of benefit to the generalized American public.
So if they're picking agriculture that puts food on the tables of everyday Americans, they've never committed a crime inside the United States, they didn't come across with documents, should they be deported?
If they have not paid taxes and if their draw on the taxpayer benefits are larger than the contribution they are making to the economy, or if they're involved in criminal activity, they should be deported.
How do we measure that?
The same way that the IRS measures my income every year. It seems like if the IRS can track down every aspect of every receipt that I've ever submitted, and
So
they
if
can
they were
do so for
willing to
hundreds
pay-
of millions of other Americans, they can do that for illegal immigrants as well, except for the fact that no one knows how many are in the country thanks to this administration.
So you would be cool with creating a system where they could pay those taxes if they wanted to, and then stay and work and put food on our table?
It depends on how long it would take for them to pay the taxes, and they would also have to go presumably to the back of the line, although I'm not sure why I'm testifying about immigration policy at this point.
How about banning the abortion pill? That's part of Project 2025. Do you support that part?
I think that that's a state-by-state issue on a personal level. I'm
just
fully
asking you.
Sure. I'm a fully pro-life person, which means that I'm not in favor of the distribution of the abortion pill.
Banning same-sex marriage. What about that part?
I am in favor of traditional marriage between a man and a woman, and I'm perfectly fine with anyone having any sort of voluntary sexual arrangement they seek. That's a different thing from whether the government should attach benefits to that personal relationship.
But you think it's a sin to have same-sex marriage?
I mean, I'm confused. Are you asking me as a religious Jew what I think about biblically?
I'm just asking, is it a sin to be gay?
Is it a sin to be gay? I mean, how long do we have here? 2 minutes? I mean, if the basic idea is that sexual orientation is up for government regulation, I'm not in favor of the government regulating the private consenting sexual activity of adults. That is a different thing, once again, from whether the government ought to engage in actual benefits for particular sexual arrangements that adults make.
But again, just you to me, is it a sin or not?
From a religious Jewish perspective, orientation is not a sin, but activity is. That's also the same perspective of most major religions, so far as I'm aware.
Okay. And how about cutting Social Security? Do you support that part of 2025?
I'm not sure what Project 2025's position on Social Security is. I'm in favor of the restructuring of Social Security along the lines of privatization and lowering and increasing the retirement age, because you, as well as every other congressperson, knows Social Security is going to go bankrupt, and yet everyone seems to have an interest in lying about it for the next decade and a half until we have to take austerity measures or radically increase inflation or taxes.
And bans against books about slavery. Do you support that part about?
Why would I possibly be in favor of bans about books about slavery? That would be absolutely ridiculous. What I am in favor of is the idea that school libraries should be able to make decisions along the lines of what exactly is appropriate for, say, a seventh grader and whether they ought to be treated to cartoons and genderqueer. That's not quite the same thing.
And just because we found some receipts, you did say, I think homosexual activity is a...
I'll give you that some receipts. Shut the fuck up, Swallow as well.
Yes, I'm a religious Jew. That's true.
There's a genetic component.
You found me out.
Orientation. The view of all religious people I know has always
Hold
been.
on.
There's because we found some receipts. You did say, I think homosexual activity is a sin.
Yes, I'm a religious Jew. That's true.
There's a genetic component.
You found me out.
Orientation. But the view of all religious people I know has always
You found me out.
It's something that is up to you. And you said, I may have a desire to sleep with many women, but I do not.
I agree with me. Yes, that's true.
Congratulations on your, I'm sure it's very hard to restrain yourself. Mr. Chairman, I just want to shift to Alvin Bragg. He was supposed to be here this week, and he's not coming. And Hunter Biden was supposed to testify. Now he's not testifying. We were supposed to have votes on articles of impeachment, and we didn't. And again, we're just wondering, you guys write great press releases, but the payoff seems to never come.
Is he done yet?
I guess we will keep waiting, and we'll do hearings like this. And finally, Chairman, you can yell, you cannot yell fire in a crowded theater, and that's a restriction on speech, as you have recognized before. But you can yell theater in a crowded fire, and you all can continue to do that all you want, and we'll just waste the American people's time.
Gentleman's time has expired, and I remind him of the first rule of holes. When you're in one, stop digging.
So,
by the way,
of the three people involved in that conversation, two of them fuck and one doesn't. And I'll give you one guess as to which one doesn't.
I got something for you.
What's that?
I am getting the pig!
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, boy!
So, if you're not aware of why Ben Shapiro was there, it's to testify against the government censoring Republican outlets, not to answer questions about Project 2025. Apparently, Swallowswell doesn't really know what the fuck he's even there to do, which is to have a hearing about censorship of conservative outlets, not Project 2025. So, while Republicans were trying to get to the bottom of the censorship issue that we all know that conservative outlets experienced during COVID and after COVID, Eric Swallowswell is trying to shift it to something else in order to become internet famous for continuing to dig a hole that he was never going to get out of, because, as Malik said, trying to outsmart Shapiro is like pissing in the wind. Useless. Hear, hear. Now then, we can also talk about the fact that Joe Biden is being pressured to drop out of the presidential race by everyone except Hunter and Jill Biden.
President Biden.
All right, guys.
Wrong
President
thing.
Biden is meeting with top union leaders today. That meeting was scheduled months ago, but the president's participation comes as he continues to work to reassure concerned Democrats that he is fit for another 4 years. The president also taking part in the NATO summit this week, but as Rebecca Castor reports, concerns over his re-election chances seem to be overshadowing that high-profile event.
As the U.S. hosts dozens of our closest international allies, some of President Biden's domestic allies are in retreat. In a damning op-ed in the New York Times, actor George Clooney says it's time for Democrats to find a new nominee, just 3 weeks after his star-studded fundraiser for the president raked in a record $30 million.
I think there's merit to it. Sometimes this is all a matter of risk assessment.
Several Democrats in Congress have spoken out against Biden in recent days, but Clooney is certainly the most high-profile ally to jump ship, and he suggests more will follow, writing, "This is the opinion of every senator and congressmember and governor that I've spoken with in private. Every single one, irrespective of what he or she is saying publicly."
Does he have your support to be the head of the Democratic ticket?
As long as the president had it's up to the president to decide.
It's up to the president
him
to decide
to make that decision because time is running short.
That comment from former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is also raising questions about her loyalty to the president.
President Biden, is Nancy Pelosi still behind you, sir?
An awkward question as President Biden stands alongside more than 30 foreign leaders to open the NATO summit in Washington, D.C. An opportunity the Biden campaign hopes will display the president's leadership on the world stage. On Thursday, ahead of President Biden's highly anticipated...
Now, he also had his big boy press conference, which didn't help his case any at all.
Social media blowing up.
Let's see. Let's scooter back just a little bit. Okay, so this is the face that everybody had on when he introduced Vice President Trump.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan's one of them there.
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
So the rest of the...
You see that face he's making? What the hell that white boy just say?
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
He's sitting there looking like, what the hell?
Wasn't much better, staring blankly at that slip up. I thought they had some pretty good poker faces.
It wasn't too bad, actually.
I mean, cringing on the inside, but on the outside, they know the cameras are on them, and they just held form.
They're like, oh, it's fine. Everything's fine.
That's right.
This is fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. This is fine. This is fine. Fuck! It's so bad. It's so bad. And it's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. It is only going to get way worse. And there are so many influencers on Instagram, Facebook, X, all of the big platforms saying, oh, no, Biden's fine. He just had a cold or he had a bad night. No, the man's fucking senile. He's not there.
Imagine for a moment he gets 4 more years.
You mean 4 more minutes?
Dude is, I have a hard time just picturing what those 4 years are going to look like.
Absolute dog shit.
Even if he wins, he doesn't actually get 4 more years.
No.
There's no way that he'll make it. We didn't think he would make it these 4.
No, to be
but
honest,
he's not going to make it.
I mean, when you
I'm
look
just saying,
back,
if he does,
Joe,
what is the end of that 4 years?
And center yourself in the camera. Holy shit!
This chair is
lazy
uncomfortable.
bum.
Shut up! You don't even have your camera on.
Well, that's because I'm topless and nobody wants to see that.
No,
I'll get
Christine,
topless.
No,
stop.
No.
Bad joke.
Got a little bit.
Christine would have liked to see it. Put that down right now.
Hey.
Can I just kind of make free the nipple from the side?
No.
Look at that! Look at that tan line.
Don't nobody want to look at that.
Anyway, it's getting worse. It's not going to get any better. The further along this campaign gets, the closer to November we get, the more likely it is that Joe Biden drops dead. And then you get
from old age.
Yes,
not old age,
from an assassination.
Not from an assassination. From old age, from some unspecified health problem. I don't want anyone to kill the president. Obviously, that's not something that I would ever advocate for, as stated earlier on the show.
Right.
I kind of, like them or not, I want them to do well because I want the country to do well. I want our nation to succeed. So whether they're my preferred candidate or not, by the way, Trump 2024, baby, because that's where my vote is now. Like, they just tried to kill him. Fuck you.
He did.
Thank you, Joe. I mean, if I don't vote for him now, I'm doing something wrong. Sorry, but anybody that takes a bullet for the country, you son of a bitch, I'm in. Cue the Chase Oliver fakes assassination attempt. Unfortunately, jizz is not the same as a bullet. So, anywho, I don't know. I can't see where we would be in 4 years after another Joe Biden presidency if he were to make it to the actual nomination. Which there's a good chance that they convince him to give his delegates to somebody else. But I think the only person that's viable out of all of that is Kamala, and Kamala's going to get the shit kicked out of her. There's absolutely zero chance that Kamala wins this presidency, so why would he drop out? But then again, does Jill Biden really want her husband's legacy to be that he beat Donald Trump, did such a bad job that the party had to attempt to assassinate him, and then he beat him anyway? Is that what you want everybody to remember your husband for? Because that's what we're all going to remember him for, is being the worst president in American history and doing everything, including riling his base up so much that they tried to assassinate his opponent and still fucking losing. There's no good option here other than him to come out, say, I have serious health issues that I need to take care of, and for that reason I can no longer pursue the presidency. That is his only option. But if he does that, so here's the other issue, right? So if he admits that he has a cognitive issue that will prevent him from being able to perform the duties for 4 more years, why is he still the president now?
Yeah, so to that note, if he comes out and says that, they'll remove him from office immediately. Like there won't be a hesitation point. There won't be a this or that.
They will
It'll
absolutely
be revoked.
They will absolutely have to invoke the 25th Amendment. There is no other option. And they're not going to do that. They're going to ride this man to the grave. And it's not going to play out for them the way that they think it is, because they are not going to win in November. There is no shot, especially after the assassination attempt. Now, I mean, it could come out that it was staged, but it didn't look staged to me. It looked like Donald Trump took a bullet to the side in his bulletproof vest and a bullet to the ear. That looks pretty fucking real.
I don't think it's staged.
I don't think so either. So that's the problem that everybody's going to have.
Because if it's staged, then that pretty much just lost him the election.
Yep. Exactly, and I don't think he takes that chance. Unless what he said in the debate is actually true and he just doesn't want to be there anymore. Both options are viable, but I think one option is far more viable than the other, and that is that some radical lefty gun grabber who hates AR-15s and hates conservatives bought an AR-15 just to kill Donald Trump. I find that far more likely than Trump doesn't want to be there, so he staged an assassination attempt. I mean, let's be honest. If he was going to stage it, why not just, I don't know, actually let them succeed so that he doesn't have to be in the public spotlight anymore?
Well, my thing is why? Why would you do that? Like that makes no sense.
You wouldn't.
No,
you wouldn't. So
no, because one of your main stances is pro Second Amendment. Anything staging a shooting or anything of that nature is just going to throw more heat at the Second Amendment to try to get it removed, let alone the casualties and this and that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to stage it. Like, I'm not going to lie, there for a split second when I first heard the news, I was like, political stunt?
No way. No shot.
But
no way.
The more I look at it, the more footage I watch, especially like I said, I watched that little clip it probably 30 or 40 times and was trying to figure out what happened to the chick over his shoulder. That's why I brought that up to y'all. Like, that feels real.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. It does. It feels absolutely 100% real. Let's see. President Biden is returning to the White House from Delaware. The incident is officially being investigated as an assassination plot. Early evidence indicates that there was only one shooter, according to the source. Attorney General Merrick Garland said in a statement that the FBI, ATF, and U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District in Pennsylvania and the Department of National Security Division will be involved in the investigation. Let's see. As was communicated earlier this evening, President Trump is doing well and is grateful to law enforcement and first responders for their fast action. President Trump looks forward to joining you all in Milwaukee as we proceed with our convention to nominate him to serve as the 47th President of the United States. Let's see. Yeah, there's not much else coming out. Let's see. Male shooter was killed by the Secret Service. Shut up. Let's see. The suspected shooter was a man and was killed by a Secret Service counter sniper, according to a source familiar with the investigation. His identity hasn't been immediately confirmed. FBI Director Christopher Wray briefed Biden and the National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, according to the source. So, yeah, the counter sniper 100% killed him.
Did counter snipe things.
Yes, counter sniped. Get fucked, nerds.
Imagine that.
Right? It's almost like, that guy that posted that random cop killed the sniper was, wrong. Like we all knew he was. Anywho, Exactly. So Malik says, Scuttlebutt says Obama is spearheading the Kick Biden Out movement. Absolutely 100% probably true. Because, as we all know, Barack Obama hates Joe Biden.
I think Barack Obama hates Biden more than Trump does.
I don't think Trump hates Biden at this point. I think Trump feels sorry for him just like everybody else does, but he has no choice but to make fun of him because he is his opponent. Now, while we're on the president subject, we'll go into the Supreme Court ruling on immunity, which has been broadly mischaracterized by everyone on the left side of the aisle.
Right.
As absolute immunity, which is not true. Because even in the ruling orders the lower courts to determine what official acts are considered official acts.
And it's not that this is a new law. They're just saying that no, he has immunity just like all the other presidents had.
Yeah, because, they have to order drone strikes. They have to do certain things that are absolutely against the law in the United States of America because they're considered crimes.
Because if we were to prosecute every president for everything they did that was illegal, pretty much every president would be in jail.
Yeah.
Bush would be in jail for spying on the American people. Barack Obama would be in jail for drone strikes on American citizens.
Yep.
Trump would be in jail for, I guess, the whole, thing with the election. Biden would be in jail. Biden would be in jail for what was I thinking about the other day? Oh, the papers. Taking papers.
But even documents. That he's not immune from that because he did it at a point when he had no right to have those documents.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is every president would barely be in jail.
Yeah.
For something.
Roberts wrote that immunity for former presidents is absolute with respect to their core constitutional powers. Roberts wrote, a former president has at least a presumptive immunity for acts within the outer perimeter of his official responsibility. Meaning prosecutors face a high legal bar to overcome that presumption. So, Biden called the ruling a dangerous precedent because the power of the presidency will no longer be constrained by the law, which is untrue. Because, again, you have to define what an official act is. So, Roberts even added, as for a president's unofficial acts, there is no immunity. So where is the confusion coming from on the left? The confusion is coming from the fact that these idiots just regurgitate whatever bullshit they're fed on CNN. Okay, and that's not the way that the law works. It is exclusively pertaining to his official acts as president. Like, I don't know, ordering investigations. Like, I don't know, drone strikes. Like, I don't know, taking classified documents out of SCIFs. Things like that, sure. But all of the bullshit that they're prosecuting Donald Trump for is exactly that. Bullshit. Like, it doesn't even hold water. So on top of that ruling, there's also another ruling in the Supreme Court about the abortion pill. So the Supreme Court maintained access to the abortion pill in a unanimous decision. You get good vote. So even when they win, the leftists still seem to think that it's a completely compromised Supreme Court. No, you just don't want to actually acknowledge the fact that what you're trying to do is prosecute your political opponents But, getting the abortion pill on the market, as an abortion pill, you're not even going to bring that up. Nobody talked about this. Nobody talked about the fact that this is not a, rigged court that wanted abortion completely banned because of Roe v. Wade. If it were the fact that they wanted to completely ban abortion, do you not think that the Supreme Court would have ruled 6-3 to say, no, you can't, allow mifepristone to stay on the market? No, they absolutely would have done that. It makes no fucking sense. The left side of the aisle, like, none of them have any clue what's actually going on. They only read headlines, and all they know is outrage.
It just seems like all they do is regurgitate what's told to them. They don't actually have.
They regurgitate.
They don't have their
headlines.
own original. Yeah, they don't actually have their own original ideas.
Never, not one.
You want to take a break? I need to go get some water.
Yeah, I need to get a drink too. So
okay, we'll take a break
after these messages.
We'll
subjects. Be right back.
You want to change the scene?
No.
All right, so I don't know if they. Yeah, y'all can hear me. So it looks like I'm seeing where apparently President Biden has spoken to Donald Trump. I don't see where they've actually said what he said or whatever, but he has spoken to Donald Trump apparently.
What's that? Joe Biden has actually spoken to Donald Trump now?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Good.
Like I said, I've got live news rolling over here, right above our feed, and it seems that he has spoken to Donald Trump, and they hadn't said anything like what he said or anything, just that he's spoken to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I don't really expect them to communicate what was said, just that communication was had, right? So,
yeah.
Anyway, Joe, what do you want to talk about now?
Let's see. I'm gonna go to the show notes here. Let's go on to the where was it? Oh, let's talk about Saudi Arabia real quick.
All right, let's do that.
Did you hear about this?
The new video and documents revive questions about Saudi role in 9/11 attacks. The video was recorded by a Saudi national who has been the focus of years of investigation due to his association with two of the hijackers who crashed a plane into the Pentagon.
So I don't really care about the whole story behind it, right? This is kind of almost partly Joe's conspiracy corner. Almost.
But
it's not really because it's not really conspiracy. It's more conspiracy fact.
Also, Joe,
what you got there? I can't really see what it is. Key lime, Southern key lime pie. Where's that? Who? Oh, sour. Oh, yep. I'm telling you, man, we're on the sour kick.
Hey, sours are fantastic.
Yep. I'm drinking the Dr. Robot from Monday Night Brewing.
This is a Nashville brewery called Southern Grist, and they make some fantastic beer.
It don't say where Monday Night Brewing is on here.
Tastes like
Atlanta, Georgia.
Tastes just like a key lime pie.
Nice.
Anyway,
but
continue.
So I want you to zoom in on the date of this right here, if you don't care. June 25th, right? Is when this report comes out. All right. Well, if you'll go down in the show notes to where it says "Why Now."
Oh, hold on.
We find out that Saudi Arabia has started their process of dropping the U.S. dollar. What's the date on this, Justin?
June 21st.
And what was the date on the other one?
Hold on. See, right here, June 21st is 6/28. The other one was June 24th. Which leads me to believe that it has more to do with the petrodollar than anything else.
Because let's be completely freaking honest with ourselves. The idea of Saudi Arabia being involved with 9/11 is old news. We knew that.
Yes, we've known that for a very long time.
So now it is my expectation that since they are dropping the U.S. dollar, that the U.S. is like, well, looks like it's time for them to get some freedom.
You know, so that's another thing that may help Joe Biden's presidency, right? Is presidents involved in an active war typically win re-election. So is that their play? Start a war with Saudi Arabia? Doubt it. But I can see other fronts kicking off in a big way. And
you want to see You want to see gas prices go up to like $6 a gallon? Start a war with Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
Dude, speaking of gas prices, so like at the beginning of the week, gas prices were like $2.94.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of the week, $3.19.
Yep.
Do you have any idea why that? I'm being. This is a legit question. Like,
I have absolutely no clue.
Has something happened that we've missed?
Let's see.
Like, just why are gas prices so freaking high? Refinery maintenance?
Well, so when was this written? April 15th, so that's not relevant. March 19th. March 11th. February 13th. Nobody's talking about it. So something has to be up.
Well, apparently AAA is only saying it rose only 3 cents.
National average, right?
The national average, right?
So since January 1st, though, the national average is up 43 cents. So I don't know.
That's
weird. I really have no idea as to why. It's an interesting theory, or there could be some interesting theories as to why, but I don't know the answer to that question. I've not heard anything. I haven't seen anything. Maybe what Biden released from the petroleum reserves has expired, and now it's just the standard price. So, I don't know. But we are coming up on time, so Joe, it's time for Joe's Conspiracy Corner. Joe, do the thing.
Got a bunker in the backyard, ready for the fall. Got no time for small talk, too busy building walls. I got batteries and light bulbs, gonna be alright. My super glue and can through the rest of you can fight. Can't trust the government, can't trust their lies. That's why I'm digging this hole where I sleep at night. I'm digging this hole, rocking while I'm stocking. I'm gonna be fine, don't you come knocking. Ain't scared of nothing, gonna be okay.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That
Hell
song
yeah.
will never not be a jammer.
Nope, never.
All right.
All right. So what are we talking about tonight, Joe?
So Malik, you know how you were talking about Project 2025 isn't real? Guess what we talking about tonight?
Is it Project 2025?
It is.
Alrighty. So I see this is the one that you want.
Yeah, we kind of go in order here. So this is actually project2025.org.
So
And,
where do you want me to go?
We'll just go from the top here.
The actions of liberal politicians in Washington have created a desperate need and unique opportunity for conservatives to start undoing the damage the left has brought and build a better country for all Americans in 2025. It is not enough for conservatives to win elections. If we are going to rescue the country from the grip of the radical left, we need both a governing agenda and the right people in place, ready to carry this agenda out on day one of the next conservative administration. This is the goal of Project 2025, Presidential Transition Project. The project will build on 4 pillars that will collectively pave the way for an effective conservative administration, a policy agenda, personnel, training, and a 180-day playbook. The project is the effort of a broad coalition of conservative organizations that have come together to ensure a successful administration begins on January 2025. With the right conservative policy recommendations and properly vetted and trained personnel to implement them, we will take back our government. The 2025 Presidential Transition Project is being organized by the Heritage Foundation and builds off Heritage's long-standing mandate for leadership, which has been highly influential for presidential administrations since the Reagan era. Most recently, the Trump administration relied heavily on Heritage's mandate for policy guidance, embracing nearly 2/3 of Heritage's proposals within just 1 year in office. Paul Dans, former chief of staff of the Office of Personnel Management during the Trump administration, serves as the director of the 2025 Presidential Transition Project. Spencer Cretin, I don't know how to say his name, whatever, former special assistant to the president and associate director of presidential personnel, serves as associate director of the project. Yeah, those guys don't look like guys that I want running anything.
Exactly. So let's see. That's what it is. That according to them, right?
Yes.
According to them, that's what it is. So if you want to go to the mandate for leadership, it's right underneath. It's down right above the funny there in the show notes. So this mandate for leadership is over 900 pages long, right? So obviously I can't go through the whole thing and give you like point by point bulletins on what this thing is. It would take me like probably months to read this.
Well, we can just look at the table of contents real quick.
And you can control F and find stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with one of these weird topics that supposedly are in this. That supposedly, according to like liberals and stuff, this is one of the things that's in there. Okay, so apparently, one of the things is that all porn stars and like porn content creators are to be arrested and basically made into sex. What do you call them? Like
sex workers?
Sex predators.
Let's see. Today, America and the conservative movement are enduring an era of division and danger akin to the late 1970s. Now, as then, our political class has been discredited by wholesale dishonesty and corruption. Look at America under the ruling and cultural elite today. Inflation is ravaging family budgets, drug overdose deaths continue to escalate, and children suffer the toxic normalization of transgenderism with drag queens and pornography invading their school libraries. So that's mention number one of pornography. Pornography, manifested today in the omnipresent propagation of transgender ideology and sexualization of children, for instance, is not a political Gordian knot inextricably binding up disparate claims about free speech, property rights, sexual liberation, and child welfare. It has no claim to First Amendment protection. Its purveyors are child predators and misogynistic exploiters of women. Their product is as addictive as any illicit drug and as psychologically destructive as any crime. Pornography should be outlawed. The people who produce and distribute it should be imprisoned. Educators and public librarians who purvey it should be classed as registered sex offenders, and telecommunications and technology firms that facilitate its spreads should be shuttered.
That's a little
on the nose.
Yeah, that's as you know, a libertarian thinking individual, I don't like that.
I don't like that either, but it should be restricted
for sure,
in certain ways, right?
For sure. But at the same time, it's not up to the government to wow, okay, I'm sorry. There's a guy here, so I'm watching the live news stream here. There's just a random guy that just walked up without his shirt on.
Fun.
But crap, yeah, made me lose my train of thinking. Okay, porn stars and stuff and porn creators are not doing anything illegal.
No, they're not.
So to say that we're going to lock them up and like make them sex offenders, no, that's messed up.
I think that at the end of all of this, this is an agenda that obviously not all of will ever be able to be implemented, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to do something like banning pornography and imprisoning everyone who makes it.
No. But this is what the left is coming out and saying, like, hey, this is, their playbook, blah, blah, blah. So we're just, we're talking about it.
Correct.
And then, so Control F, another thing, it's a mandatory military testing for public school kids. Just put military testing.
Takes a second to search 900 pages. 0 things for mandatory military.
Just put public school testing.
So the military is mentioned at least 150 times. Let's just say test. Zero times. Nothing for aptitude. But the military definitely has some hits.
Right. Let me see. Oops.
Let's see. Mm. 169 mentions of the military. What was that? Oh, nothing there.
Yeah, let's see. It's the most difficult task.
Let's see. Military service is the most difficult task we ask of our citizens, and our nation is enormously blessed that so many young, patriotic Americans eagerly volunteer to carry such a heavy burden. We owe them everything, and we must do better. To do better, however, means recognizing and implementing 4 overriding priorities. Number 1, reestablish a culture of command accountability, non-politicization, and warfighting focus. Number 2, transform our armed forces for maximum effectiveness in an era of great power competition. Number 3, provide necessary support to the DHS, border protection operations. Border protection is a national security issue that requires sustained attention and effort by all elements of the executive branch. Number 4, demand financial transparency and accountability. I do not disagree with any of those.
So here's one too that was apparently controversial for the left that they didn't like, but I actually agree with. And it's restore standards of lethality and excellence. Entrance criteria for military service and specific occupational career fields should be based on the needs of those positions. Exceptions for individuals who are already predisposed to required medical treatment, for example, HIV positive or suffering from gender dysphoria, should be removed, and those with gender dysphoria should be expelled from military service. Physical fitness requirements should be based on the occupational field without consideration of gender, race, ethnicity, or orientation. And I feel like that's correct, because gender dysphoria is a mental disorder, and you if you are mentally unfit, you should not be in the military. We need you sharp.
So I did find the ASVAB testing for... Okay, so here we go. Needed reforms. Rescue, recruiting, and retention. Recruiting was the worst in 2022 that it has been in 2 generations, and it is expected to be worse in 2023. Some of the problems are self-inflicted and ongoing. The recruiting problem is not service specific. It affects the entire joint force. So, appoint a special assistant to the president who will maintain liaison with Congress, DOD, and all other interested parties on the issue of recruiting and retention. Improve recruiting by suspending the use of recently introduced MHS Genesis system that uses private medical records of potential recruits at military entrance processing stations, creating unnecessary delays and unwarranted rejections. Improve military recruiters' access to secondary schools and require completion of the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, ASVAB, the military entrance examination by all students in schools that receive federal funding.
Okay, so that's where I think they're getting. No, read that again. That last bullet point.
Improve military recruiters' access to secondary schools and require completion of the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, the military entrance examination, by all students in schools that receive federal funding.
So basically what they're saying is that all students should have to take the ASVAB in public schools.
Which, honestly, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, because in the event of a draft, you already know what these kids can do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. But it is a little dystopian. It is a little dystopian, though.
Well, but look at Israel. Israel requires all citizens to complete 2 years of mandatory military service.
Right. I get that.
This is a small step as compared to requiring everyone to join the military.
Let's see what. But one thing is, so obviously they can't do it in private school because they're privately owned.
Correct.
So to me, that
receive
is
no federal funding. That's elitist. Right. It's an elitist thing, because at the end of the day,
that's what I'm saying. It's
Trump isn't going to have his kids in schools that receive federal funding. They're all going to go to private schools.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's where that sketchy. I don't know. That's kind of like CCR, fortunate son kind of stuff right there.
Yeah. So Malik took the ASVAB at 18, scored high as fuck on it, but when the recruiters came to my house to meet me, I got disqualified immediately when I stood up to shake their hands. Alec is a tall man.
Oh, really?
Yes. He's a very tall man. And so I'm not in the same boat, but I did take the ASVAB and I scored extremely well on it. I do believe my score on the ASVAB was like a 94. Which,
I thought it was 80 something.
No, I was in the.
I scored
I was in the 90s.
I scored a 60 something, which was still apparently pretty good for, it was above average.
Right.
Apparently.
I scored a 94. I could have done literally anything that I wanted to in the military.
Oh, intelligence, man. Intelligence would have been the best.
I'm so glad that I didn't join the military, though.
No, because right about the time we would have went to the military was when all the stuff was getting really shitty.
Correct. It was indeed getting really, really shitty.
And so we probably would have come back with either missing parts or not come back at all. So
correct. 96. Yeah, me and Malik are on the same page. Bye.
So that is just that part to me is a little sketchy.
Okay,
it's like,
So what else is in Project 2025 that would be, something that we need to be wary of, right?
That's the stuff that stuck out to me. Basically, like that I think is sketchy, because the liberals they're saying that they want to up things that have to do with illegal immigration, which obviously to them they want illegal immigration. And then but one thing they're claiming too is that they want to put more restrictions on legal immigration. So you could look that up if you want.
Yep. Okay. So we'll do that. Let's see. Control it. Let's see.
Let's see.
53 mentions, 93, 95.
And
God. Dude, there are so many mentions of this.
Well, that's because for some reason the search highlights the illegal immigration word, but just highlights the legal for some reason. But it's illegal. It's saying illegal immigration.
Nope. Here we go. 6, 7, 9. It's like 9. Let's see. Needed reforms. Since January 2021, USCIS's priorities have been misaligned, and this has transformed it into an open borders agency, ignoring the critical role that it plays in national security, public safety, and safeguarding the integrity of our immigration system. USCIS should be returned to operating as a screening and vetting agency. Regulatory efforts have focused on easing asylum eligibility in a manner that is guaranteed to exacerbate asylum fraud as people surge at the border. Emphasis has also been placed on removing legal barriers to immigration, such as the use of public benefits. These actions violate statutes, erode congressional intent, and provide a significant magnet for continued illegal immigration. Okay, so financial crimes associated with illegal immigration.
So I did put a Washington Post link in there. So one of the topics here, it says remaking the federal workforce to be political. It says instead of non-partisan. Of course, this is their words, not the the actual document. This is their words. It says instead of non-partisan civil servants implementing policies on everything from health, education, and climate, the executive branch will be filled with Trump loyalists. It is necessary to ensure that departments, agencies have robust cadres of political staff. The plan says that means nearly every decision federal agencies could advance a political agenda, as in whether to spend money on constant, whatever that is, that lean on Democratic. The project calls for cutting LGBTQ health programs, for example. It says cut the health department, or not health department, education department, which I'm actually okay with too. It says it would make changes to public schooling, cutting long-time low-income and early education federal programs like Head Start, for example. Now, Head Start's actually a really good program, so that would actually be kind of dumb. And even the entire educational department, federal education policy should be limited, and ultimately the Federal Department of Education should be eliminated, the plan reads. It says it would give Trump power to investigate his opponents. It would make reproductive care, particularly abortion pills, harder to get. It'd crack down on even legal immigration, supposedly. So let's see what it says about that. It would create a new Border Patrol immigration agency to resurrect Trump's border wall, build camps to detain children and families at the border, and send out the military to deport millions of people who are already in the country illegally, including Dreamers. A deportation effort so big that it could put a major dent in the U.S. economy. Illegal immigration should be ended, not mitigated. The border sealed, not reprioritized, the plan says. I think that may be taken a little out of context, but that's just me.
Yeah, most likely.
/ climate change protections. It calls for getting rid of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. I think that's kind of dumb.
Agreed.
I mean, I'm cool with them. Like, we probably should have them sticking around to monitor things for us.
Yeah, NOAA should probably be a thing.
Yeah, so they forecast weather and track climate change. So they don't just track climate change, like they track weather patterns. Like I'd say they're kind of important.
Yes.
Describing it as one of the main drivers of the climate change alarm industry. I blame Greta Thunberg more for that. Actually,
I blame Democrats in general for that mainly.
Right. It would increase Arctic drilling and shutter the Environmental Protection Agency's climate change departments, all while making it easier to up fossil fuel production.
No, stop. Malik says, "Fuck Dreamers. I dreamed that my grocery bill wasn't so high. Fix that shit."
See, it would ban transgender people from the military, consider reinstating the draft. We already talked about that.
Yep.
I mean, I'm kind of okay with that because, man, I'm sorry, but obviously you're not. It's a mental disorder, and I mean we don't let other people with other mental disorders in the military.
Yeah, we don't even let people with mental disorders own guns sometimes.
Dude, we don't even let people with bad vision in the military. Like, come on.
Correct. Well,
like really bad vision. Really bad vision.
So, Joe, do you think that Project 2025 is a secret mastermind plan to be implemented by Donald Trump? Or do you think that Project 2025 is just a bunch of stuff that a lot of conservatives may agree with or may not, that a think tank has come up with that Donald Trump wasn't really involved in?
The second one there.
Yeah, agreed.
See, what a lot of people don't realize is this is the Heritage Foundation is a think tank.
Correct. It is.
So what they're coming up, which people are saying, oh, Donald Trump loves this, blah, blah. And I will say there's a lot of conservative talking heads like Shapiro, pretty much all the Daily Wire folks.
Well, so aligning certain policy prescriptions is one thing, but sitting there saying that it's going to be the downfall of democracy is a completely different thing. So I don't really subscribe to that a bunch of the talking heads agree with it. What I see is that a bunch of the talking heads agree with parts of it.
Right. But here's my fear. My fear is that it's a a wolf in sheep's clothing. That, you know, failure. I'm seeing it from both directions is what I'm saying. Like, I could see one way going, it's just, yeah, like you said, it's just a think tank thing, and Trump's like, whatever, dude, like, this ain't my thing, and Democrats are blowing it way out of proportion. On the other hand, I could see it being a, you know, wolf in sheep's clothing kind of thing where all these conservatives are backing it up, and all of a sudden, poof, out of nowhere, we're like, oh shit, what did we do? They're starting to do all this stuff, and this is very dictatorial, and we don't like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed. So,
like it could go. I'm saying it could go either way.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. You know, the odd time that I actually agree with you.
And it's not that I think it's going to go one way or the other. It's just you never know. I mean,
you really don't.
We just watched the president almost get his ear shut off. At this point,
former president. Let's be fair.
Right. Sorry, the former president. We just watched him almost get his ear shut off.
We almost watched him get his head blown off.
So at this point in history, nothing would surprise me.
No.
Like if Joe Biden or Donald Trump or one of them got up there and all of a sudden just transformed into the devil, I'd be like, you know what? I'm not surprised. I'd be like, well, didn't have that on my bingo card.
Well, shit. So, my theory, welcome to Justin's Conspiracy Corner, is that we were set on this horrific timeline by that fucking gorilla Harambe. And that has been Joe's Conspiracy Corner. Joe, do the thing.
Got a bunker in the backyard, ready for the fall. Got no time for small talk, too busy building walls. I got batteries and light bulbs, gonna be alright. My super glue and can through the rest of you can fight. Can't trust the government, can't trust their lies. That's why I'm digging this hole when I sleep at night. I'm digging this hole, rocking while I'm stocking. I'm gonna be fine, don't you come knocking. Ain't scared of nothing, gonna be okay. Gonna be in here the rest of my day.
Total banger.
You know what we need to do? We need to get that Joe Rogan clip where the guys are all going,
yeah. We just need to get our drinks and just be like, anyway,
what we got?
We're up on that time. It is time to do a funny and get the fuck out of here. You down?
It's cardio time. Let's go.
Foosball. You playing the foosball behind my back. The only reason I'm doing this so I can go to school. School? You're going to school? I'm sorry, Mama. I wanted to tell you. You are gallivanting with your fancy foosball friends at school? Well, I'm sitting here all day with nobody to keep me company except Steve. Reminds me of Lulu. The chickens are coming home to roost, Bobby Boucher. Well, guess what? You reap the fruit of your selfish ways. You're gonna lose all your fancy foosball games. And you're gonna fail your big exam, cause school is the devil. Everything is the devil to you, Mama. Well, I like school. And I like football. And I'm gonna keep doing them both because they make me feel good. And by the way, Mama, alligators are ornery because they're medulla oblongata.
Oh, I cut out the Vicky told me who titties, and I like them too.
And I like Vicky, and she likes me back.
Wait.
And she showed me her boobies, and I like them too.
Yes.
I really love boobies.
Yes. It didn't cut it out. I thought it was going to cut it out.
What is that other one? What is this?
That's another one of his videos.
Oh,
it's a short.
You gotta get them that hot tour and spit on that thing. You get me? Oh, this is so funny. Oh, you gotta get them that hot tour and spit on that thing. You get me?
It cracks me up. Oh,
Malik doesn't find the Arnold AI clips funny. I do.
Oh, what's the Aussie man thing with like the Scott? What's his face?
Scott Sterling.
Yeah, but there's a baseball one.
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Hold on.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's this one. It's Stephen Piscotty. YouTube Stephen Piscotty. Scott Sterling. Scott Sterling commentary. Should be like sports
Johnson
wagon.
places the ball on the spot, getting ready. That man
Yeah, this is
literally
it.
has a cannon for a leg. Yes, he does. Here he goes, winding up for the shot, and oh! The cannon has fired and hit Sterling directly to the face.
We clocked that at a stunning 116 kilometers per hour.
Now that's a lot of miles per hour.
Little chance that man's nose is not broken right now. Round 2.
And Shaw takes a moment. Here he goes with the approach. Oh!
Sterling with the fantastic dive.
This is actually real.
Straight through his hands and once again strikes him straight in the schnoz.
And let's see it again on the old instant replay. Oh, every excruciating detail captured in HD perfection. Wait, no, Lambert needs to tie his shoe. Oh, and that's why you do a double knot, kids.
Sterling still waiting for the kick to happen. He's probably wondering when.
Oh my God!
What a crumpet! The ball drills Sterling right in the face.
That man's nose must be
And that was actually real. That was like they took the clips from the Sterling thing and put it in a real clip.
Oh,
is it a freaking gorilla on a baseball field?
Alonzo and Healy to follow. One hit foul. Does Seagull come like right between the pitcher and the catcher, or the pitcher and the?
Oh, the fucking bird!
I remember that one.
Yeah, I do too. Ugh.
That was epic.
Yep, we got it. We have liftoff. Oh no!
Does that count as an official ball in the water?
I don't know. I think it was.
What happened to you today? Well, an American Eagle landed on my shoulder, and I was getting ready to pitch a game. Whoa, that's scary.
Dude, I would have totally let that eagle land on me.
Better than I would have. I think, Mike, you would say.
Dude, hell yeah! Yes, I would very much be about that.
He was the chosen one.
Now we've got something thrown out on the ice. Puck is picked up and cleared to center. Something out on the ice. It's a chicken. Somebody threw a live chicken on the ice. Player stands. It has a blue napkin on it, so now they don't know what to do with it. Chicken sitting out on the ice. I've never seen this before in my life.
Pick it up.
patear, la bocha se va cerca. ¿Y quién la va a agarrar?
Do it, Joe, do it.
Se mete un pijo de la suela. Muestra el fútbol que estaba faltando en el lanzómetro. Lo quieren agarrar los hombres del Arce, pero no pueden. El amigo tenía la bocha entre ceja y ceja y va corriendo a encontrarlo otra vez. Sí, la muerde.
Oh, that's crazy.
This needs Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff. Like, oh.
Let's go.
On cue, watch him go on coverage. All right, fellas, go. I'm telling you, he's gonna watch him come down to a landing. He's got contained. He's gonna be the contained guy. Not letting anything get outside of him.
That's a gorilla.
I think that's a suit.
Yeah, it is. The hell is that?
It's a rabbit.
The rabbit?
Yep.
He's at the 40. He's at the 50. He's at the 40.
Oh, he's going. He's going. He's going. Oh, wait. He's there. He's there. Touchdown.
Let's go.
Camera captured just a short time ago a falcon or hawk or whatever it is developing an affection for one of our microphones. He is bound and determined to haul that thing off, but he just can't get it.
That is a hunger.
Is a line drive base hit center field. Coming around third, DeRosa's going to win the ball game. It got by Crisp. Maybe the birds distracted him. Got by Crisp. Maybe the birds distracted him.
3 points Australia. There's a dog on the ground. It's got everything. There's a dog out on the ground as well. Can you believe this? Wow, Marty. What else is going to happen here today?
That's crazy,
I'm
dude.
not too sure it is. All we know is a striker will be right.
Anywho, that's about it for tonight.
It's calling it a striker. It's a dog.
It's been.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's been a show. I won't say it's been a good show because it was kind of derailed by the assassination attempt on Donald Trump.
Right.
But we'll be back next week. If you enjoyed the show, leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon. You'll always be notified when we go live. It is a live show Saturday nights at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And until next time, I'm Justin.
I'm Joe.
Tally ho, lads.
Tally ho, lads.
I don't know what the hell is going on. The Stream Deck is acting up. Also, I forgot to mention, if you can't watch a show, you can always watch it on replay, or you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. Now then, in 3, 2, 1, I'm Justin. Tally ho, lads! Why is it